Hello there, hope you're doing great. Hey, and we here arrived at scholarships. I know you probably wonder, college, how can I go to college if it's so expensive for both American domestic students and especially for international students who pay twice the same price. So, you probably think maybe it's not worth it, maybe it's not a good experience, and it's really too expensive, but let me tell you something. First of all, you don't need to jump right in to take a loan, whether it's federal or private loan. That's just not how it works, and you shouldn't do that. Second, you shouldn't be lazy on working on the side while you study in order to cover your living expenses, because we are talking about tuition, but students tend to take loans for both tuition and living expenses or book supplies or insurance or anything else. So we need to really focus on financial management here and just stop for a second, identify all the options and financial tools. And today I want to just tell you a little bit about scholarships, just a little bit to give you a hint what we will work with you together on in order to cover your expenses relating to education, so that you could actually obtain college. I genuinely believe that college is an amazing thing. Yes, universities have to improve some aspects of how they handle learning experience, to make it more experiential, to make it more practical for certain majors. But hey, let's be honest, there are so many opportunities that you still can obtain while studying in college. It's also life experience, meeting new people, networking, especially for international students who come from all over the world to visit the best universities in the world that are located in the United States. I think this is just a great opportunity, and you shouldn't hold on just because you heard that there are universities that require you to pay $100,000 in tuition expense. Why? Because first of all, this 100K thing only comes from big universities that are mostly in Ivy League, first top 14 or top 15 universities or top 8, whatever. You don't need to focus only on those. There are 4,000 universities in the United States of America. And pretty much all of them, yes, to a certain extent they differ, but they all of them are amazing. The only difference is the amount of resources each university can bring. The experience of learning is almost the same. There are differences also in the size of the class. It can be 900 students per class or 30 students per class, different programs, but that's different other pinpoints that universities might compete on. But in reality, overall, education is the same. Especially in these days when you can have so many things you can learn online, and universities provide you with online classes or with tools when you study. Let's say you study in university in Urbana-Champaign University, but you can go to the Harvard Business Publishing online tools and download the business cases and learn from them as well, like if you would be a Harvard student, So my point is here that first of all, not every university requires you to pay a tremendous amount of money. Second, you don't utilize all financial tools. And third, you have just to figure out how to approach your finances holistically. So right now, let's talk about the scholarships. It's connected for both American and international students. First of all, let's discuss really quick what scholarships are out there. The most important, of course, is the university-funded scholarships, right? Those that are awarded to you, normally based on merits or need, 90% of cases on merits. Those are higher than those that are based on need. So those can be 100% full tuition scholarships. So they cover, for undergraduate students, they cover either full tuition or certain percent, 75, 50, 20, 10% of your tuition cost of attendance per year. So normally those are renewed scholarships, meaning if you're an undergraduate student and you have a program that lasts 4 years and you have a scholarship for the first year, most likely that scholarship will be applied to the second, third and fourth. Not in all cases. Sometimes it can be one semester scholarship, 1 year, academic year scholarship, so it all depends, but usually it's the case. The same as graduate students, right? Those who study master program, they might have scholarship that are applied for 2-year or 3-year programs, or just as a one academic period, one academic year. So those can cover either tuition or fees or both, depending how you will communicate with the university and what is the type of award you receive. Others can just cover your books and supplies. For international students, it might be also international student health insurance. For American students and international students as well, there might be housing stipends or some other types of scholarships, right? Because there are so many different expenses you can, go with along with when you study at school. The main, of course, is tuition. This one is the most, the highest amount of money you possibly will spend on your education is, of course, refers to tuition, right? But then, besides those scholarships, you have graduate assistantships. These applied only for graduate students, for those who study masters, or might be PhD students who study philosophy doctorate, right, programs or postdoc. They have their own type of funding, but we can just say graduate assistantship, teaching assistantship, research assistantships when you work at school. For normally, if it's international students, they work part-time, not more than 20 hours per week, according to all the immigration requirements. And you not only your tuition can be either half, can be covered in half, 50%, or it can be covered in full, up to certain amount of credits you take, certain amount of courses, number of credits you take per semester. That also gives you a small stipend. It can be from $500 to $1,000 per month normally, and that's amount applicable in variety of universities and variety of locations, regardless of the state and the city. So it's more referred to the program and what university has to offer. And then finally, external scholarships, which very much are missed out by students, which is a great opportunity. These are different investments from employers, commercial firms, those charitable foundations, different organizations that have essay competitions, video competitions, all sorts of things, where you can apply for the scholarship that can cover some of your expenses for education, right? You can obtain that scholarship literally as a check, or as a deposit to a bank account, or as a check that goes directly to financial aid office of your university, where that one can be applied to your student account, or it can be just refunded to you by certain means, again, check or deposit on your bank account, right? There are multiple ways how you can obtain money, maybe in your hands, maybe in the directed to your university, to ensure the security that you will use those financial resources specifically for your studying, right? But my point here, there are so many organizations all over the world, and you can be eligible for funding. If you're an international student in your home country, you can be eligible for other scholarships in multiple other locations. You may be eligible if you're undergraduate student only for those who study bachelor's programs. There are so many scholarships for different minorities or different nationalities, both for certain organization types, and so there are just so many opportunities, and we are glad to help you to find those. So ultimately what we will work on together is, first, finding external scholarships, right? So it's those that are not funded by university, which you can back up your financial expenses, right? You can use some of those money. Then, of course, we will work on university-funded scholarships, meaning, if you obtain a scholarship during the admission process, we can advise you on how to negotiate higher scholarship amount, just communicating with the admission office. We also have a separate service that's called admission communication, where we teach you how to make even more requests, like tuition fee waiver or application fee waiver, many other things. But this specifically, we only work regarding scholarships, right? So again, we can help you to increase scholarship amount you obtain from university, to provide you with advice, which scholarships and where do you need to find. If it not goes beyond our knowledge, if it doesn't touch the knowledge of specific major, right, the program you are studying, we also can help with the application to the scholarship, if you have some scholarship essay, for instance. And then we also can help you just to have a quick look maybe to GA positions that your university provides, and give you a hint how best for you will be to apply, what you should do with your resume in that regard to obtain a position. Because graduate assistantship it's not just scholarship, is literally a position for a job, right? So you are working, and then that's why you are covered, your tuition is covered, right? And again, external scholarships will help to find those. So ultimately is helping you to find scholarships, to understand how to apply them, and in case if you receive them, try to negotiate even higher scholarship amount, especially if those are university funded. That's what this service is about. We really want to help you to make sure that you utilize all financial tools before you go you apply to any loans, whether it's federal or private loan. Because hey, there are so many, there are $1 million that are unused in scholarship funding that is allocated by budgets of different universities. And the problem is that of course it's in the benefit of university to not give too many, because they want people to pay, students to pay, and their parents to pay for them for education. Makes sense. But I am here to advocate for students, because I want you to not overpay, but still to enjoy your life and in college, to study, to be a great candidate, to prove that because you're an amazing student, you are actually, you deserve to obtain scholarship. So that's based on merit, and I'm here glad to help you on this journey to obtain more scholarships to study in America at the lowest cost possible, or even for free. Alright, so let's start.